The Safe Man. Written by Michael Connelly. Read by David W. Collins. The house on Shell Island was as its owner had described it over the telephone. Large and white, with black shutters and wide porches running the length of both the first and second floor. The house had two dormer windows that creased the roofline like eyebrows raised in surprise, or maybe anger. The columns that sustained the double layer of porches looked like teeth below those eyes. Brian Holloway parked his van on the left side of the turnaround circle and got out without any of the tools he would need. It was his routine to meet the client first, survey the job, and provide an estimate, then come back to the van for the appropriate equipment, if he secured the job. It took 2 rings of the bell and a hard rap from the brass lion's head knocker before anyone answered the door. It was a man in blue jeans and a sweatshirt. He was barefoot. He was clean-shaven, and Brian guessed he was of similar age to himself. Late 30s, maybe a little older. The man had a scowl on his face. "Didn't you see the sign?" he asked. "The sign?" The man pointed to a small brass plaque posted beneath the mailbox to the left of the door. It said, "All service at side door." There was an arrow pointing to the right. No. Sorry, I didn't." "I will see you over there. And could you move your truck to the driveway on the side as well?" It was a question, but it wasn't spoken as a question. "Sure." The man abruptly closed the door. Brian walked back to his van, trying to hold back his anger. He reminded himself it was a job and, yes, after all, he was in the service industry. He moved the van to the driveway that went down the side of the house and widened in front of a 3-car garage. He found the service door and headed toward it. As he walked, he looked across the expansive backyard to the view of the open bay. The same man from the front door opened the service door before he got there. "Are you Mr. Robinette?" Brian asked, though he recognized him from photos on the backs of his books. "Yes, that is right. You are the safe man, I assume?" "Yes, sir." Brian could see Robinette eyeing his van. He realized he had forgotten to attach the magnetic signs to the side panels. He worked out of his house, his garage, actually, and neighbors complained about having a commercial van parked there all the time. So he painted the van a pleasing pale blue and went with magnetic signage. The problem was, he often forgot to put the signs on when he went out on a call. "Don't you have any tools?" Robinette asked. "I like to look at the job first, then figure out what I need," Brian replied. "Follow me, then." Robinette led him down a back hallway that led to a kitchen that looked as though it had been designed to serve a restaurant, or maybe Noah's Ark. He counted 2 of everything: ovens, stoves, sinks, even dishwashers. They then moved through a vast living room with 3 separate seating areas and a massive fireplace. Finally, they came to a library, a room smaller than the living room, but not by much. 3 of its walls were lined floor to ceiling with shelves. The books were bound in leather, and the room smelled musty. There were none of the bright colors Brian saw on book jackets whenever he went into a bookstore. He didn't see any of Robinette's books on the shelves. In the center of one end of the room was a large mahogany desk with a computer screen on it. There was a stack of white paper with a bust of Sherlock Holmes as a paperweight. In front of the desk was a Persian rug of primarily maroon and ochre colors. Without a word, Robinette used his foot to flip up the corner of the rug. He then kicked the fold back until the rug had been moved aside to reveal a small, rectangular door set in the wood flooring. Brian estimated that it was...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?